You think you're doing everything right. You're dodging credit card debt, maybe even socking a little money away each month. But what if I told you that you're probably bleeding money right now and you don't even realize it? What if 3 invisible habits could be quietly costing you a potential $1 million fortune? And no, I'm not talking about the obvious stuff like gambling or a closet full of designer clothes. These are the silent killers. The subtle habits that feel normal, even responsible, but are systematically draining your future wealth. Your 30s are, without a doubt, the most important decade for building your financial foundation. This is the decade where time is truly on your side, where the magic of compounding can either build you a mountain of wealth or a mountain of regret. The choices you're making right now, the habits you normalize today, will have a massive impact that echoes for the next 30, 40, or even 50 years. You are closer to retirement than you think. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these 3 silent wealth killers are. More importantly, you'll get a clear, actionable plan to stop them in their tracks. We're not just pointing out problems, we're giving you solutions. So if you're ready to take control and make sure your hard work actually turns into real wealth, stick with me. The first killer is the one that punishes you for getting a raise. Let's talk about the sneakiest wealth killer of them all, lifestyle creep. This is the one that feels so good, so deserved, that you don't even see it as a problem. You get a promotion, a raise, a bonus. You worked hard for it. What's the first thought? I deserve a little upgrade. A nicer car, a bigger apartment, more frequent dinners at that new spot everyone's talking about. It feels like progress, but it's a trap, and it's costing you a fortune. Here's the deal. Most people think a raise means more money in the bank. But lifestyle creep is when your expenses magically rise to meet your new income. What were once luxuries suddenly become your new necessities. That extra income vanishes before it ever has a chance to be saved or invested. Let's run some real math. Imagine you're 35 and you get a fantastic promotion that bumps your salary. You feel great. So you decide to celebrate with a few small upgrades. You trade in your old car for a nicer lease, adding an extra $500 a month. You start eating out more and ordering in on tired weeknights. Let's call that another $200 a month. You add a few new streaming services and premium subscriptions, another $50. None of these feel outrageous on their own. But together, that's $750 a month, or $9,000 a year. That is now completely gone, vaporized. Now, here is where it gets truly terrifying. If you had taken that same $750 a month and invested it with a pretty average 7% annual return over the next 30 years, do you know what that would grow to? Over $1.1 million. Let me say that again. That slightly nicer car and a few extra takeout meals are potentially costing you over $1 million in retirement wealth. And don't think this is just a problem for people on average salaries. It's shocking. But even people earning over $500,000 a year report living paycheck to paycheck because of this exact phenomenon. They are crushing it on paper. But between the giant mortgage, multiple car leases, and expensive family vacations, they're dipping into savings just to get by. More income didn't bring them more freedom. It just brought bigger bills and more stress. So what's going on in our heads? It's a powerful mix of wanting instant gratification and social pressure. Your brain gets a dopamine hit from the new car or the fancy meal. It rewards the immediate pleasure of now over the distant, fuzzy concept of future security. On top of this, we're swimming in social media feeds showing friends on vacation and colleagues in their new homes. It creates this comparison envy that makes you feel like you're falling behind if you're not also upgrading. In fact, some surveys show nearly a third of people have fallen into financial difficulty from overspending because of what they see on social media. This isn't just a personal failing. It's a powerful social and psychological force. The best analogy for lifestyle creep is the frog in slowly heating water. The temperature increases so gradually, the frog doesn't notice it's being boiled alive until it's too late. That's what's happening to your savings. Each small upgrade is a tiny turn of the dial. By the time you realize your savings have evaporated and you're trapped, it can be too late. And here's the part people miss. The biggest danger of a lifestyle creep isn't just the money you spend. It's the high fixed costs you lock yourself into. When you upgrade to a bigger house or a pricier car, you're not just making a one-time buy. You're committing to higher mortgage payments, higher insurance, higher property taxes, and higher maintenance for years or even decades. These fixed costs become your new baseline, a financial cage that kills your flexibility. Suddenly, you can't afford to take a lower-paying job you're passionate about. You can't handle a sudden job loss. You're stuck on a treadmill, running faster and faster just to maintain a lifestyle that isn't even making you wealthier. The solution is simple, but it takes discipline. The moment you get a raise, you have to see it as a chance to boost your investing, not just your lifestyle. Automate it. Set up an automatic transfer, so a big chunk of that new income goes straight into your investments before you even have a chance to touch it. This one habit is the antidote to lifestyle creep and the first step to reclaiming your financial future. And by the way, if this is starting to make you think differently about your money, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We put out videos like this every week to help you build real, lasting wealth, and I'd love for you to be part of this community. The second silent wealth killer is one that so many people in their 30s fall into: career stagnation. You've probably heard the old advice that company loyalty pays off, that if you just keep your head down and work hard, you'll be rewarded. I'm here to tell you that, for most people, that is a dangerous and outdated myth. Staying in a comfortable role without actively pushing for more is a silent wealth destroyer that puts a ceiling on your single greatest wealth-building tool, your income. Think of your career in your 30s not as a ladder, but as a compounding asset. Just like your money, your skills and salary should be compounding year over year. But for many, they just creep. An income that barely outpaces inflation isn't growing, it's stagnating. While the days of massive 15% pay, bumps for switching jobs seen during the Great Resignation have cooled, strategically moving jobs still often provides a significant advantage over small annual raises. Let's look at the math again, because the numbers are staggering. Let's say you start at age 30 with a salary of $60,000. If you stay put and only get standard 3% annual cost of living raises, by the time you're 50, your salary might be around $145,000. Not bad, right? But what if, instead, you made a strategic job jump every 3 to 5 years, negotiating an average 10% salary bump each time? That's not an unrealistic figure. Many professionals who switch jobs can see increases in that range or higher. By following that path, your salary could reach over $250,000 by age 50. The difference in your final salary is huge, but the difference in your lifetime earnings is catastrophic. The person who stagnated will have earned far, far less over those 20 years. That gap in earnings between the two paths can easily amount to over $2.5 million in lost lifetime income. That's money that could have been invested, compounded, and turned into true financial freedom. Instead, it's just gone, lost to the comfort zone. The psychology here is powerful. It's rooted in a fear of failure and a deep desire for security. Your current job feels safe. You know the people, you know the systems, you know you can do the work. The thought of interviewing, negotiating, and starting over is terrifying. But here's the mind shift you need. That comfort zone isn't a safe harbor. It's a place where your potential goes to die. You are undervaluing yourself by not testing your skills on the open market. Now you might be thinking, but the job market is shaky right now. And that can be true, but that doesn't mean you should retreat into your shell. It means you have to be smarter. While you're employed, you have the leverage to be selective. You can use this time to upskill. The world is changing fast with AI and automation rewriting job descriptions. If you're not actively learning new skills, you're not just stagnating, you're becoming obsolete. Take online courses, get certifications, or volunteer for projects outside your main role to build new capabilities without the full risk of a job hunt. This is even more critical when you think about how unpredictable life is. Stagnation leaves you dangerously exposed. If your income has flatlined, you have no buffer for emergencies like unexpected childcare costs, helping out aging parents, or a sudden layoff in a volatile economy. You need a growing income to build real resilience. Staying comfortable is one of the riskiest financial moves you can make. This last wealth killer is the most personal and, for many, the toughest to talk about. But we have to. Choosing a financially irresponsible or misaligned partner can wreck your wealth-building journey faster and more completely than anything else. Forget your own bad habits. When you tie your life to someone else, you are tying your finances to them. And pretending love is blind to money is a recipe for absolute chaos. Think about it this way. Building wealth is like co-piloting a plane. When both pilots agree on the destination and how to get there, the journey is smooth. But if one pilot is constantly yanking the controls and sending the plane into a nosedive, it doesn't matter how skilled the other pilot is. You are going to crash. Together. A partner who's a spender, is secretive about money, or just has completely different financial goals is that erratic co-pilot. The impact is devastating. It's not just about them spending too much on little things. It's the big decisions. A partner who insists on buying a house you can't truly afford can lock you into 30 years of crippling payments, suffocating your ability to invest. A partner who racks up secret credit card debt is actively canceling out every dollar you save. This creates a one step forward, two steps back nightmare where your household makes zero progress and resentment starts to boil. The psychology is complex. The sunk cost fallacy plays a huge role. You've already invested years into the relationship, and the thought of starting over is scary. It can also feel like a personal failure to admit you chose a partner who isn't on the same page. So many people ignore the red flags, hoping things will just get better. They rarely do. Recent surveys show that a shocking number of people, in some cases over 40%, admit to financial infidelity, like hiding debt or secret spending from their partner. Here's the thing. You can spot this misalignment early on. It comes out in simple conversations. Questions like, how do you feel about debt? What does retirement look like to you? Or, do you think we're tracking our spending well? Can reveal deep cracks in your financial compatibility. If your partner gets defensive or refuses to have these conversations openly, that is a massive red flag. This isn't about finding a partner who earns the same as you. It's about finding someone who shares your values and is willing to work as a team. If you're already in a partnership where these issues exist, it's not too late, but it requires immediate and honest communication. You have to sit down together and get everything on the table. Create a shared budget, track your spending together, and set mutual goals. It's not about controlling the other person. It's about creating a system of transparency and accountability so you can finally start flying in the same direction. Ignoring this is like letting a slow leak sink your financial ship. You have to patch it now, or you will go down together. These aren't just one-off mistakes. They're interconnected systems that feed on each other. Lifestyle creep eats up the raises you should be getting from avoiding career stagnation, and a misaligned partner can pour gasoline on every financial fire in your life. If you've made it this far, you're serious about changing your future. So do two things right now. First, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Second, go down to the comments and tell me, which of these three habits are you going to tackle first? Lifestyle creep, career stagnation, or your partner dynamics? Declaring it publicly is a powerful first step. Let's wrap this up. Your 30s are your decade of decision. This is your last, best chance to really harness the incredible power of compound interest over a long time. Taming these three silent killers now gives you 30-plus years of financial freedom on the other side. The path forward is clear. First, budget with purpose. You have to track your money to see where the leaks are. When you get a raise, automate at least half of that new income straight into your investments before you can spend it. Second, never get comfortable in your career. Upskill every single year and be willing to strategically change jobs to ensure your income is compounding, not flatlining. And third, choose your life partner with your eyes wide open. Make sure your financial values are aligned from the beginning. Making these changes isn't about sacrifice. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing long-term freedom over short-term pleasure. Let's go back to the math one last time. If you can fight lifestyle creep and find an extra $500 a month to invest, that's $6,000 a year. Invested at 7%, that small change alone can add nearly $500,000 to your net worth by retirement. Now imagine combining that with a growing income from actively managing your career. The numbers become truly life-changing. You have the knowledge now. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Your future self is begging you to act before these lost years become a lost decade. Thanks for watching.